LJ's Card Shop Live back here with Jersey Day.
It is Jersey Day. We did good
Who you
today.
rocking tonight, Josh?
I don't know. It's awful bright though. I'm used to all like the black on the black hat, the black shirt. Looks different. Who do you think I went with tonight? That guy back there. I can turn around, but you know who it is.
I think you
84
went with
throwback,
Bartman.
Mr. Sandberg himself.
I was gonna say Alfonso Soriano.
That's a close. It's close. Wouldn't be bad. Who
Uh,
you got? Who you got?
I went with the man, the myth, the cigarette,
Mr. Cutler?
Jay Cutler. Jay
Jay Cutler.
Cutler.
Not the bodybuilder.
No, not just the cigarette smoking. Don't give a effing. Married movie starring. Chicago Bear not blocking. Denver Bronco. Josh McDaniel hating, bringing in. I mean, all Josh McDaniels does is run good quarterbacks out of town for former New England Patriots. Like,
That's true.
hey,
He had Brandon
let's
Marshall
trade
though.
for Matt
Brandon Marshall.
Castle, even though we're like 12-4 with Jay Cutler. Hey, let's get rid of Derek Carr to get Jared Stidham. Hey, let's think about going and getting Jimmy G. Like, come on,
It's a
man.
business. It's a business.
So I had to go with Cutler. One time, before I tweet this out, I got to tell the story of why I'm wearing Cutler. Because my wife and I always had the joke. We loved Cutler. Like, even when he went to Chicago, I still followed Cutler. So shortly after we were dating, we took a Valentine's Day trip to Chicago. Cutler was on the team. And every photo album we made was, is that Cutler? Do you think that's Cutler? Is that Cutler over there? Oh, yeah, that's Cutler. So we made like 4 photo albums. We just named it that. We took pictures from like the top of the Sears Tower, like there's Cutler down there. Or you take a picture of like people in the distance, like that one's Cutler. And it was just like a running joke of, oh, there he is.
Jay Cutler is not a joke.
So that's why I went with it. And the soccer community on Twitter is Jay Cutler's burner. So
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tweet it out, man. We'll get some viewers in here. See what's happening tonight. This is our first show in a couple of weeks. We haven't done this in a while. You just got back from vacation. Congratulations. I'm happy for you.
And it was amazing. We took the kids to Disney, Universal, Orlando area. I absolutely loved it. And you know what, Josh? We left on the 11th, 11 days in. So my kids have pretty high expectations for 2023. What are some of your hobby expectations for 2023?
Man, I want to make a little bit of money in the hobby this year, right? There's money to be made. Enjoy it a little bit more. It's fun. It's fun. I've been to a couple shows, kind of been out in the wild, experience it a little bit. It's the place to be, man. Card shows aren't dead. They're not dead. It's fun. It's fun. So my expectation is that I think that it will grow. There will probably be some downfalls to it. There always is. We'll see what happens. Like I said before, there's always room. If you're going to make money, there's always room to make money. You don't have to make $10,000, but you can make $2,000. It's still profit. At the end of the day, just enjoy what you do and love it. What about you? You got any goals for 2023 in the hobby? I mean, we do work at a card shop. I mean, we do this is kind of like this is more than fun for us. It's also a job. It's a livelihood. So we get to really live it every day. But what do you got?
See, I'm looking more. I went a different way with this for my expectations. Is I see the prices still coming back down. Retail is gonna go. The prices have got to come back down. You're buying $30 blaster without anything in them. But then you're gone to the days of buying a $20 blaster, going online, selling it for $80. Then you got 2 at home to rip basically for free. Those days are gone. They're not coming back. The hobby boxes that are, $1,400 are only making the breakers money. And you're only making money by getting lucky in breaks or lucky in boxes. Like, you can't go into any box with the expectations of making your money back. You go into the box with expectations of having a good time opening cards. No. And if you don't have that expectation, then you might not be making money. Now, as far as a business, you and I are also human beings who collect, but we also work at a business. Our expectations are the highest. We're going to make money. We're going to make a lot of money. We're going to put out the best product. We're going to rip the product that day. We're going to put that product out for sale that day. We're going to be the first one. We're going to set the market. Those are our expectations. But as far as like the highest end cards, I expect them to come down. Like Luka is going to continue to climb. Burrow and Herbert gonna come down.
Right, you're
Nobody
bigger
can
guys
touch
for
Patrick
sure.
Mahomes. Nobody's prices should be near Mahomes, but they are. But the prices got to come back down. They just have to. It's like the people who bought in, including us, with a $4.3 million card. The prices just aren't what they were. Now, I am a full believer in Mahomes, and that card will be worth more than what we paid for it down the road. Not
It
right
has
now.
longevity.
It has longevity. But as far as like the quick flip, like you talk about going to card shows, like people can walk around card shows without getting a table anymore and make a ton of money. Just, hey, I'm going to buy a $3 card here. You know what? I can sell it to that guy for $5. You can just make money doing that.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different ways to make money if you just put time and effort into it. Because the thing I'm running into now is, 2 years ago, everybody was home, except me and you, because we were essential workers, but everybody was home. The government was putting money in your pockets. You couldn't do anything. So you turned to this, and that's where the prices skyrocketed. And a lot of people didn't know where it was before. And they're like sticker shocked now. They just don't know what to do. And it's those people who are getting absolutely burnt and hammered. And I just feel like it's got to be, for the correction. People who know what they're doing are going to make the money, and there is money to make. But then where is the time to make it? Because people aren't at home all day. We have 9 to 5 jobs. I told you this morning we got like taekwondo, dance, t-ball, softball, basketball, Girl Scouts, something every day. Like, where's the time to do it?
Now you're just coming into this too, or me. My kid's grown. He's old enough to drive, so he'll take care of himself. But speaking of kids, and I want to go back to what you were talking about with the blaster boxes, and that is where it kind of began for our kids, was with the blaster boxes, because you could go anywhere and get a $20 box of cards. If you didn't get anything, you didn't get anything. It wasn't that big a deal, but you had fun doing it. Now, they got a minimum on these things if you order them online, and you're spending $100 for a couple of blaster boxes. It's kind of ridiculous, but I will say this. Even with the kids have transitioned, because going to these card shows these last couple of weeks, these kids are everywhere, man, and they are hustling and they are making money, and they understand the business that the hobby is, but they're also having fun with it. It's really cool to watch.
Yeah. And I remember, the hobby was built for the you and the me. And the retail is built for the kids, where you can go to the store and buy a pack of cards, and you were happy just to get a Barry Bonds, or I was happy to get a Chris Sabo in a pack. Like, I didn't care if it was worth 10 cents or $50. Now you've got 10-year-olds who are opening a box, and they're not happy unless something like a huge hit's in there, which is it's basically just money. But yeah, everybody wants the giant hit. But my kid's 3. And every time we open cards, it's football. Dad, I got Cooper Cup. Dad, I got Cooper Cup. I mean, it's not Cooper Cup, but he thinks everyone's Cooper Cup, and he absolutely loves it. Or he'll say, Dad, I got Joey Votto. I got Joey Votto. Like, he genuinely just loves opening cards and having something. It's where you want to talk about, is base dead? There are a lot of set collectors, and we can attest to that in vintage, because we've been selling off, upgrading our sets, selling off our lower end ones to other set makers. Or my buddy Chris, we sent him boxes of Mosaic and Prism, because he puts sets together. That is a type of collector. Then you have hobby shops who take the base that people don't want and give them to kids as free cards. You or I've got a ton of base just sitting around. I'd rather give away than have here, because I collect my Broncos, my Reds, my certain players. But like, what am I going to do with the random?
Right, and you.
Tylan Wallace, I don't want this card, but somebody might, so I can donate it.
And before you know it, you end up with 10 to 25 row boxes of just random base cards. It's fun to go through every 5 or 10 years, but at some point you don't have room to put these things anymore. It's kind of what I'm kind of dealing with right now, trying to get rid of some of this stuff, trying to figure out what to do with it. But there's a lot of stuff. So, speaking of that, going with base cards. Let's talk about the base rookie. Does it still have value?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the parallels, the one of ones, you got there's a statistic of like how many Tom Brady rookies there are compared to how many Brock Purdy rookies there are. And there's probably 30 times as many Brock Purdy rookies out there than there are Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Or you want to like talk baseball, like everyone's after, the Julio Rodriguez, the Wander Franco short prints. Okay, maybe like the short print and the numbered stuff, but the actual base card, you're looking at $2 compared to, and okay, just say like a Julio Rodriguez base rookie card in 20 years is $2. How much is a 20 years ago ish, a Derek Jeter base rookie card? More than $2? Yeah. What about a Pete Rose rookie card?
Yeah.
What about a Barry? Well, maybe not Barry Bonds in the overprinted era, but what about like a Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth? Like those are talking about obviously Hall of Fame caliber people, but the mass printing and the overproduction, I think, is killing the base card. Like at one point, the Zion Williamson Prism is the number one graded card by PSA. At one point, it was $5, then $40, then a PSA 10 was $800. That's down to $120 or so right now.
Yeah.
So I think like the overprinting is killing the actual base card because, like we talked about, how many Brady rookies are there compared to Brock Purdy's? But yeah, the numbered stuff is going to continue to grow in value, but the actual base non-numbered, just enjoy collecting. Because
speaking of base rookies, you kind of take it back to when we started collecting, and which is kind of slowly starting to creep up into the vintage section, because you're looking at 30, 40 years ago. But we didn't have parallels. Parallels didn't come around to the early to mid 90s. Like there wasn't a whole lot of that stuff. So the base rookie was the Topps rookie. It was the Fleer rookie. It was the Donruss rated rookie, which everybody loved because they had the rated rookie on it. You loved it so much you got a tattoo of it. So you understand this. But now all of these parallels, that's kind of flipped on its head to where most of it, everybody wants the low numbered stuff. Everybody wants the low numbered high graded stuff. And if you can get it for a good price, 70 to 80% of comps, you turn around and flip it and make $20, make $40, make $100. It has become more of a business than it has collecting. Now, I think the business was always there, but it's just kind of just escalated in the last 30 years because of the color, because of the autographs you can get now, because of the jersey cards, because of the relics. Everything has to grow, but yeah, I mean that's kind of the difference. Real quick, just to finish this, but the vintage base rookies, cool as heck because that's all they had. Now I think there's a place for it because it's cool. Maybe you can use them to trade, whatever. If you're just going to be like the casual collector, but the numbered parallels have definitely kind of ruined that a little bit.
When you talk about business and collecting, I just wanted to interject with one comment that I see so often on social media. I do the social media stuff for LJ's. Other people be like, hey, if we've done business together, leave me a vouch below. It's a pleasure doing business with you. I was doing business with this one guy. It's like, for like $3, are you doing business or are you just like buying something, Right. Or I did a trade. Like, we're not talking $30,000 transactions. Or, I'm not going to, people want to vouch for him. Hey, I got 10 vouchers. I can have 10 of my friends right now tell you that I'm a good person. I could be a scumbag. That means nothing to me. There is one person, Ben from Midwest Box Breaks, that if you're in his Discord and you buy something from a trusted seller in his Discord and they screw you, he will put his wallet up against it and say, I trust these, I don't know, say he's got 50 people. These are 50 of my closest people over there. And if one of them screws you, I will put my wallet up against it. I'm like, hey, you know what? I bought from Josh before. I had a good experience, but I'm not going to like put myself up for anybody. So there's like 3 people that be like, yeah, I put my wallet up if something happened to him. So it's like, just I'm not even sure where I started with that or where I'm going, but that's where I went. So
there's a point.
It was with the interjecting with people. It's a pleasure doing business with you. It's like,
yes,
not everything's business, man. It's a hobby. Like,
it is a hobby. Yes. Having that common ground is also key. I think, everybody is a collector, but everybody kind of wants to make some money too. So knowing when to let go of things is also important too. Sell high, buy low, sell high.
Absolutely.
I think we're kind of. And
then, if we're buying low and selling high, who in the playoffs are you still buying? If anybody, which teams do you want to see? Who's winning? Is Dak really good with his 5 touchdowns? Like, did Herbert just blow it? Like, what?
Herbert definitely blew it this year. I don't necessarily think it was his fault. I think it was more of a team fault, but I'll let everybody else decide that. But whatever they were up 27, was it 27 points? Was it the second largest comeback in NFL history? I think it was. I don't know.
Second or third,
I
yeah.
may not be right with that, but I think that's true. Quarterbacks, you're buying quarterbacks, right? As of right now, you're still buying Burrow. You're still buying Josh Allen. These guys have longevity. This isn't a quick flip. But I think whoever wins, that guy goes up a little bit more. But I don't think it's much. Whether Burrow wins or Allen wins, I think they still have a significant price range there. I think I'm probably, this is just my opinion, and I'm going to change it from the beginning of the season, but I think I'm going to sell Hurts. I don't think that they're going to do it this year. And they may not make it back. So if you invested in Hurts early, you probably got in somewhat cheap, but I think now may not be a bad time to sell. Just my opinion. If I have some Hurts, I would probably sell, which I do, and I may try. But let's not forget about like your McCaffreys. Look what he's doing since he got traded. The 49ers are looking really good with Brock Purdy. We're going to touch on Brock Purdy here in a minute because I know we both have a couple things to say about what he's doing, not only in the NFL, but also for the hobby. You got Jamar Chase. I know a lot of people are in on Ty Law right now too. Trevor Lawrence. He's I think he has longevity. I think I'm going to buy into it a little bit. Again, another quarterback. If you're going the business route with this, you could probably make a little bit of money off some Trevor Lawrence cards right now, especially if they win this week. They play the Chiefs this week in Arrowhead. Who knows? You never know. That's why they play the game, right? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, your position players. Give them a shot.
3 guys, 3 of the quarterbacks like Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow. Like who they are. They're going to go up a little bit substantially. I think Brock Purdy could go up. Hurts could go up. And
but Brock Purdy's prices, I don't know if you've seen them or not right now, but my goodness, he's like Zion all over again.
I don't believe Dak would go up much or Daniel Jones. People know who Dak Prescott is. People know who Daniel Jones is. People know who Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen are, but can they reach even higher? People don't know who Brock Purdy is yet. People same with Hurts and Trevor Lawrence. Like, you are good, but are you really going to win a Super Bowl in like your second and third year? I'm not a believer in Hurts. I mean, Philadelphia, I think, has the most talented team overall, but somehow I just think 49ers are just going to 49er with the defense.
Their defense is
and then, I mean, you just don't bet against Patrick Mahomes with 13 seconds. So it's going to be Chiefs over 49ers in the Super Bowl is my prediction. And really, wait till
you can't
March
go wrong with that, Vic.
I
mean, you could never bet out Patrick Mahomes. I said Bengals and Niners again. The rematch from Super Bowl was at 23. I had to look that up. It was 1989. I didn't remember it off the top of my head. I knew it was an earlier one. It was actually the first Super Bowl I ever watched. Montana to Taylor, I think it was, at the end of the game. I think Brady was, on the bench somewhere with the 49ers. I think he was playing at some point in 89. But, I'm going to go with my man Sean on this one. Houday, you met him in Cincinnati. Let's give the Bengals their first title, man. Why not? Who cares?
Yeah, I'm rooting for
that. Let's go.
I'm rooting for Cincinnati and Philly. Definitely rooting for Cincinnati and Philly, but I just think it's going to be Kansas City and 49ers. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. I don't know how emotional the game's going to be for the Bills and the Bengals. I imagine
It'll be interesting.
And how much does that play into their ability to play? Like, are they fired up? Are they nervous? Are they timid and shy? Like, I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching that game. Like Kansas City, Jacksonville, whatever. NFC, if I bet on it, I'll probably watch. The one game I really want to see is Cincinnati and Buffalo.
Yeah, you're looking at like an early AFC Championship game there. That probably could be, and the fact that they didn't get to play because of what happened to DeMar. It's gonna be a really good game. It's gonna be a really good game.
Yeah. And something I saw by an influencer in the hobby. The Leaf CEO put out cards of DeMar Hamlin and said, prayers answered. They were selling them for, I think it was like $25. And then it said some proceeds will go to the DeMar Hamlin Foundation. Didn't say all. So to me, that's saying Leaf is directly profiting off of what happened,
Yeah, sure
which
does.
I
Like
think
so, like,
sucks. But if they're donating all of it, great. You're making a product, you're making a donation. If you're donating 1%, if you're donating 90%, you're still pocketing all of that money. And it's print, like purchase to print, like you've got 5 days. And then there's already some up on eBay for hundreds of dollars.
mm-hmm.
Like, hey, I'm going to buy this DeMar Hamlin card for $25. It says prayers answered. And then I'm going to sell it for $75 profit. Like some influencers, like, we talk at work about Jeff Wilson, the sports card investor. Met him in the National, like Ken Golden, a different influencer, or we'll even say Ryan, Card Collector 2, or Card Hub, or different, Lamine James. There's different people with huge followings. Eric White, best cards ever. They just post some of them. Sometimes they use our cards and post them, and we've asked them to tag us, and they have once I asked. But they are people with huge following in the hobby. I'd say, yeah, they're influencers, and whether that's good, bad, or the other, they push it in one way or the other. Another one is Ivan. Watch the Breaks. He's going to be on our show next Thursday. He's got 20 some thousand, and people just tweet at him, or like card purchaser. They just tweet random nonsense and then tag him, and he retweets it. Like, there are different people who influence for the good, the bad, the ugly, but in every way. I mean, Gary Vee is the king of pump and dumps. Look at the NFTs that he sold, bought and sold to make a bunch of money, and then lost a lot of people a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
So influencers can be good, they can be bad. I never aspire to be one, but we have to have a social media presence. So we have to, we post our cards, we post our hits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to influence you.
Don't
I don't
be a
want you to
bad
know my
influence on me,
secrets.
Chris.
I don't want you to know how we do what we do. It's LJ's secret. It's my mom's
You're
recipe.
right. We just love what we do. We just love what we do. I don't know if I really want to touch on the whole influencer thing. I have my opinions on it. It doesn't really matter to anybody. They can be good and bad. They can be good and bad. I'll leave it at that. I've seen some bad to come with some of the people that you mentioned, and I've seen some good. But you take it for what it is. At the end of the day, you gotta make it your own, and not worry too much about what somebody else is doing or is telling you what you should be doing. You are smart enough to figure it out on your own. It's not that hard if you just take a little time and just figure it out. Have fun with it.
Yeah, there's some influencers out there who are telling you to buy all of the Brock Purdy. Because you know what? They probably bought it all last week, then doubled their prices to sell it this week. Because if he loses, and then say he never plays again because a guy named Trey Lance or Jimmy G sign again, you're just losing all your money. I mean, we can think of a million scenarios where this played out, but everyone's thinking of that one scenario, the one guy named Tom Brady, who had a very similar situation, took his team to the Super Bowl, took his team to 7 rings, and is the GOAT. And everybody wants to have that $5 million card. But hey, it only cost me $200 right now. When other dudes over there, like, dude, I just sold 7 $200 card, just made $1,400 in 15 minutes. Like, all right, going to Damon's for ribs. Like,
I don't know if you saw. I had to look this up before we went on here, just to make sure. But most of the Brock Purdy base mosaic, we go back to that base word again. No collar, no nothing. There was most sales between $40 and $60. The last couple have been closer to $60 for a base mosaic Brock Purdy. There was a pink and there was a green. I think they were somewhere between the $200 and $300 mark, maybe somewhere in the middle between $240, $260. I know we see a lot of sales on eBay because that's what we do. But it's a little ridiculous, I think. The guy's doing well, but
I've got their eBay. I'm about to put the eBay up real quick while you're talking.
Check it out, man. And this was maybe an hour ago, I think. I don't think the prices are going to fluctuate that much, but there was a card in his college uniform that was selling for a ridiculous amount of money. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Like 715. It's probably a low number. I don't know. It's kind of
You
small
go
on my screen. I can't really tell exactly
$32
what they
versus
are, but
Iowa State.
I mean, you got $32 for a prestige rookie. What was that draft pick? Is a draft rookie? I mean, people are going nuts right now over this guy. I mean, I get it, and I will say, I went to the Xenia show a couple weeks ago, and every table I stopped at, it was the same question over and over again. You got any Brock Purdy's? You got any Brock Purdy's? And it was the same answer over and over again: is no, we do not. I think a
I
lot
mean,
of people were saying that they don't have them right now because they don't want to sell them right now. And I guess I don't
just
really blame
imagine
them, but at that price, I probably would pull the trigger on a couple if I had them.
imagine opening this box thinking, hell, man, I got a Brock Purdy. Who's this guy? He's Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
He's a 7th-round draft pick. Unbelievable. And you're like, dude, I just got $4,500. Like,
Yes.
36. Like, I kind of want to, after we're done with this, I got to get my kids to bed. Then I might go through some of my boxes and be like, hey, I wouldn't have pulled him out. He's going to be sitting in my commons box.
Yeah.
Like, I might have even thrown some away.
It's definitely worth a look. You know, you could probably, I don't know, you might want to spend another $100 on a couple more mosaic blasters just to take a chance, but I don't think I would. I think at that point I would just buy the card and be done with it. But I'm not paying that price for it.
You were talking about the card shows, and I know that you and I are going to the Lancaster show February 17th. Whole new show. This is the first one they're having. Mel Ruby is the promoter out there. He does
very excited.
Mid-Ohio show. We're really excited about that. Hopefully we can grow this one into, bigger than it is, and then it grows each time. It's going to be every other month. We have committed to at least the first, probably the second show as well. We want to start getting into that Xenia show. Josh went to last weekend, the weekend before. Said
Huge
it was amazing.
show down there.
I know a bunch of people who go to that show and say it's just awesome. So we got to just start doing it. I mean, there's no excuse for us not being at card shows, except for maybe I don't want to work on a Saturday, but whatever. It's one Saturday a month.
Is it really work though? Is it really work? I think it's time.
It's not.
It's kind of like
it's
time.
only work because
like,
I told Stephanie's like, I'm like, it's only work because you pay me. Like, I would do this all day anyways. We're just like, you gave me a roof over my house and food on my table, which is exactly what he gives me. But, it's like.
Plus, we could also tell Nico that we also work on the weekends. And we could kind of throw that back at him a little bit. So
Nico is like our best buddy from work. We love that guy, and we like to bust on each other. He's always, I always have to work on the weekend. I have to work on the weekend.
You're riding a car, Nico, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
All good, man. I think there was.
So we're up at 27 minutes. Let's talk real quick. I was on vacation all week, so I only posted some cards today. I know you had boxes upon boxes upon boxes of Star Wars stuff. I'm not sure if we got any of the iMac basketball this year. We got a bunch of
that we did.
We have a bunch of Bowman and Bowman draft we're still putting out. But what do you got going out, Josh? Because I know I've got Mosaic left and some vintage baseball and then whatever, and some Pokemon. Starting to get that Pokemon on. What do you got, Josh?
I got some vintage up this week. We got some early to mid 1960s. We got more coming up on Sunday. So if anybody's interested in that and you're watching this, we're gonna have more. I think it was like 65 to 69, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that, but there's a huge range. A lot of stars in there. I don't know. There might be like 80 cards, I think. All PSA graded. Back to the Star Wars thing real quick. And I'm just going to say this, but those Star Wars cards are amazing. Like the quality of those cards. Now there's some quality issues, but they are so pretty that it is amazing. And people are into them. People are selling them. And again, if you're listening to this, we've got the Star Wars cards, man. Check it out. I think our sales. I mean, like every time I check the orders list, there's more sold. Not just one or two, but like 10 at a time. So very, very cool cards. I think it's a nice change too from your baseball, from your basketball. Give somebody something else to collect. Very cool. Very cool. I just had to throw that in there.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to dig into the Pokemon collection over the weekend. But we're at 30 minutes, Josh. I think that's the end of the show for Jay Cutler here.
We're back. Mr. Sandberg, you'll take the 84.
Ryan
Let's
Sandberg
go.
Over there.
Let's go.
We'll be back next Thursday, 8 o'clock with Ivan. Watch the breaks. So we're gonna start trying to get more guests on for the lounge. We need to be hanging. So if anybody ever wants to join, we're thinking about having like a big hobby roundup show where we just put the link in the comments and everybody just click on it and join in for 2-3 minutes. Just hey, what's up? Just jump back out, jump in. Just actually have more of a lounge than a back and forth. So just some ideas we've been bouncing off each other, but I'm rambling now. I gotta go. Jay Cutler, Ryan Sandberg,